So, Matt, could you tell us a little bit about where you're from?
I am from right where I am right now, so I've kind of come full circle. I'm in Southeast Michigan right now, so I grew up outside of Detroit, and I always think that from a perspective of a person that an expat that's lived in China a long time, coming from Detroit and going to China is an interesting thing because Detroit's like a manufacturing hub, and a lot of industry is here, and so I had a real familiarization with what was like the industrial side of China, which is like a lot of the places that a lot of expats live along the coast, is all of the industry, you know. So when I went to Haishu, I moved to China. I went to Haishu first, and it's a district in Ningbo, and is a very industrial area. And so I felt like it was kind of like a home away from home. So anyways, I recently came back to the States, and now I've kind of returned back to Detroit, where I am right now, suburb of Detroit. But yeah, I mean, I'm a typical suburban American boy, you know. So
did you bike back from China?
Yeah, we've been reading or learning about you wanted to bicycle around the world. I don't actually. We were debating this before the show started. How do you get from North America to other continents in that theoretically?
Well, first off, I'm offended. Okay, it's not bicycle; it's tricycle. Okay, so there's 3 wheels.
Sorry.
Let's get it straight. Shut it down. It's over.
Wait, I've never seen a tricycle in the States.
It's called a recumbent trike.
Well,
it's a recumbent trike. Yeah. And it's actually downstairs right now in the garage of the house that I live in, which is another weird thing. I live in a big house right now, and it's a kind of a rarity in China to find
so it's like
the ability to stay in a house.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I have bills, lots of bills.
Yeah,
I go to Costco and buy bulk toilet paper. What am I doing here in suburban America? It's craziness.
So a recumbent trike. The 2 wheels are behind you, and you're laying. No, could you describe how this works?
Okay, so there's 2 types of trikes. Okay, there's the Delta trike, which is the one you're describing, where there's 2 wheels in behind you, and the 1 wheel in front that turns. The type that I have is it's called a tadpole trike, because a tadpole has a narrow tail and a big bulbous head, and so it has the 2 wheels in the front and then the 1 wheel right that sits behind my head, and I steer like more like automotive style steering. So there's like steering ends and control arms that actually turn the tires, you know, as I shift back and forth. So and it's kind of a unique tool to travel with, and that's one of the reasons why I chose it, because it was so unique. It's comfortable and it doesn't tip over, and it does a lot of these.
Tip over. That's good.
It has gears.
Oh yeah, it's got a ton of gears.
How fast can you go when you're getting, you're on the straight and narrow?
I think the fastest I ever got was like 65 kilometers an hour, or 70 kilometers an hour.
Wait, are you pedaling, or is it like electrical, or?
No, it's human powered. There's a lot of exceptions to the rule. Obviously, I can't cycle over the Bering Strait when it ices over. That's when I get around. No, it's that's the thing. No, basically, I wanted to see the world, so I wrote down a bucket list of items that I wanted to accomplish before I left this mortal coil, and so I figured I'd join all of those points on a map, and then instead of like accomplishing all your bucket list items in one place, they would be scattered around the globe, and so. In order to join them, I kind of created the tour we called the JaYoe World Tour, and so I found the recumbent trike path, and I sort of connected the dots around. So technically, it really is a lot more than just going around the world, or at least it was until COVID kind of derailed everything. But it was I went up into Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. And then I'd go to Australia and New Zealand, and then from New Zealand I would jump back to Thailand and move my way, like by flight, go back to Chiang Mai, and then ride all the way through. And at that point in time, when I created this, things weren't as volatile as they were, so I was going through the Middle East. You know, I really wanted to see. I wanted to ride through Iraq. I have friends in Tehran. You know, so I was planning on going through, and then all the way up to the tip of Norway, and then all the way down through the Rock of Gibraltar into Africa, and then crossing over over to the east coast of Africa down to the Cape Town, and then taking a freighter across to southern tip of South America, and then working my way all the way up to Alaska. So that's really more than like most circumventing trips. Most of the time they're more direct, whereas I'm just sort of zigzagging.
You're crossing every continent from the long point to the long point almost.
You really can't stay still, huh?
I'm going out of my mind here.
Very nice.
Yeah,